Ukraine and President Biden's approval ratings. This is a brief video about the effect of the Ukraine crisis, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia on February 24th, 2022, which seems to have done almost nothing, probably nothing, to improve the approval ratings of President Joe Biden in the United States. So we're now about a month into the crisis, which has taken over much of the news reporting, pushing COVID and various other issues back. And in fact, if you look at different polls, they are not showing a significant boost at all. In fact, one of the most recent NBC polls showed the worst approval ratings ever for Biden. You can see similarly maybe a slight improvement in the Gallup poll numbers over the last couple of months, possibly due to the Ukraine crisis. Keep in mind the errors on these are typically a few percent, so this is not really statistically significant the last 3 months. You have to go back a ways. You can see that there's been a clear, sharp decline, especially in August of last year, of 2021, in Biden's approval ratings. Here we have Rasmussen, which tends to be, I'm not sure if the right term is more conservative, but it tends to show numbers that conservatives would be happier with than Gallup. Polling Report, which is what I showed before, is a collection of all sorts of different rating polls. Quinnipiac, Mouth, it tries to put them all together. I wanted to show these in comparison to other crises that have boosted in very visible ways the approval ratings of presidents. So right after September 11th, George W. Bush's job approval rating jumped dramatically from about 51% to 86-90%. He really got a big boost from this. John F. Kennedy, back in the early 60s, this is the Cuban Missile Crisis in October, conveniently just a couple of weeks before the midterm elections. There was a humongous crisis. It's also worth noting in this particular case, this didn't involve an actual attack on the United States. It was simply the fear of nuclear missiles in Cuba that led to the crisis, but it was a direct confrontation with Russian forces to some extent, their naval forces. We blockaded Cuba. Let's take a look at Jimmy Carter. And this boost right here in November of 1979 is the Iran hostage crisis. Initially, it benefited Carter. So these people in Iran, possibly working for the Iranian government, took over the U.S. Embassy in Iran in November 4th, 1979. And initially, this really benefited Carter. His ratings went up from 30-something all the way up to 60. But it didn't last, and he lost the election despite the crisis. It dragged on for 444 days, ultimately worked against him. But initially, he got a big boost out of it. And Pearl Harbor attack produced a significant boost in Franklin Delano Roosevelt's already pretty high approval ratings. So his highest ratings for his entire presidency were in January of 1942, right after the December 7, 1941 Pearl Harbor attack. So we can see from looking at the historical data that nothing like this has so far happened for Biden with the Ukraine crisis. Now, if there were to be some kind of attack of some sort, some kind of incident, chemical, biological, cyber attack linked to or claimed to be from Russia associated with this, we might see a bigger boost. One may wonder. Obviously, there's a lot of public discontent. The crisis so far is not producing the kind of boost that we've seen with some presidents in previous crises. So in conclusion, it's pretty clear that we are not seeing the historical rally around the flag effect, at least with the current crisis as it exists, without a major attack on America or American interests. That concludes this video, which was produced on March 28th, 2022. This concludes this video presentation. If you like this video, please click like. Please click subscribe and the notification bell if you would like to receive more content from us. You can avoid internet censorship by subscribing directly to our RSS news feed. Please consider sharing the link by email and on your website or blog, in addition to liking, upvoting, or sharing on increasingly censored, advertising beholden, big company social media. We have encountered such censorship. Mathematical software is developing algorithms and software to automate data analysis, reducing the risks of costly errors and increasing the predictive power of the results. You can support our work financially by subscribing on our Patreon page, https://www.patreon.com/mathsoft, or scanning the QR code in the lower right corner.